It's Amanchu. Welcome to The Outer Worlds. Now, if you've been following my channel, which you probably haven't, you might wonder, Amanchu, why are you playing The Outer Worlds? You played this game like last year. Well, two reasons. First of all, I finished the game, but there were a lot of things I didn't do. I didn't get all of the different companions. I didn't get through all the stories of all the different companions. And also, and more importantly, you can see on the lower right of the screen there is a DLC for The Outer Worlds. And I'd kind of like to take on that DLC. Now, because it's been a while since I played, and I wasn't really all that attached to the character that I made the first time, I'm going to start over. I'm going to start over from the very beginning with a new character concept that I have in mind. I don't know that I'm going to show the entire playthrough. I just want to focus on Peril and Gorgon, but it may take me some work to get there, because I am starting over from scratch. Anyway, let's get going. Oh, and one last thing before I begin. I just want to mention that if you see this video and you like what you see, click on the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's start. Now, I tell you, I like the idea of supernova difficulty. I'd love to try supernova difficulty. There's just one thing about that setting that I cannot accept, and that's companions can die permanently. I've tried playing through this game on supernova level, and I just can't keep companions alive. I can't do it. I'd love to have all their survival mechanics except that one, but that's a non-starter. I can't play at that difficulty level if companions can die permanently, so we'll do it in hard mode.
Stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars. Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
You're easily brainwashed. Glad I found you before the board did. If you were any more composed, you'd be a symphony. Ooh, you look better than my anatomy chart. Oh dear, someone vandalized your hibernation chamber. I bet you could slip into all sorts of hard-to-reach places. What I wouldn't pay to see you challenge the chairman to fisticuffs. You're going to be hard to kill, though not from lack of trying. Ah, I see. A gourmand by trade.
Og's name is Og.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend. Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 10%. Skip drive.
Shit. Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health.
Who said that?
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel.
Show yourself,
Please be
Ada.
informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
How dare you threaten me? Og does not take to threats. Show yourself, Ada.
I have been programmed to communicate with diplomacy and tact. Please allow me to demonstrate. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Great. I'm getting shot into space twice in one day.
You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
This is Hawthorne's ship?
This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Then you are useless to me.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Excellent. Welcome back, Captain Hawthorne. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
Where can I find this?
The settlement of Edgewater is located nearby. I recommend speaking to the administrator of Edgewater and requesting assistance. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time. The navigation console is offline at this time, Captain.
I knew that. I totally knew that. Shut up. Where are you, anyway? Ada must be on the ship somewhere.
These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
That doesn't make sense. Does that mean he didn't like you because he couldn't travel alone because you were always there? Where are you? Ada, where are you? Why you keep showing up on the screen? Why don't you show yourself in person? Well, never mind. I need the... What is it again? Power thing. I need the power thingy. Og will find power thingy. My pod crashed in the hills back there.
Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices.
I never got your name. I'm Og.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater.
Huh.
We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
You've been hauling corpses? I've been making corpses. Junior in humor. Like a comedian?
Nah, I ain't that fancy. I just dig holes in the ground and fill them with dead folk.
Who do I talk to about a power regulator?
Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery.
I don't know which company you work for, but if it's Spacer's Choice, boss can still write you up for fraternizing with an incompetent worker. Maybe you don't know this, but there's a real simple reason you don't talk to the plagued. You don't want what we've got.
You should get really drunk. Alcohol kills germs.
I'm not allowed to leave the sick house. Even if I were, I shouldn't be at the cantina.
Why not?
I don't want to spread what I've got. And I don't want to bring their spirits down. Company always tells us, weak spirits lead to weak bodies. If I didn't want to fall sick with plague, maybe I should have worked harder. Maybe I should have taken more pride in my work.
I think you missed the part where I explained to you taverns are full of spirits, and spirits kill germs. Therefore, you should go to the tavern so you'll get better. Are you Reed? I was told I should talk to you.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I must say, wearing a Marauder's outfit is in very poor taste. I do wish you'd show your uniform a little more respect.
My ship needs repair. I'm looking for a power regulator thingy.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer.
I'll take that one.
Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the Botanical District over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
So I have to kill them? Og can do that.
The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
Is there a way to treat that?
I see today we'll be conversing without metaphors. I'd guess her condition is incurable. It's unlikely to be fatal, but she may feel more heartache than most. If you manage to acquire it for me, I'd pay quite a handsome sum for the book.
Handsome? What kind of weirdness you all into around here?
What? You seem the perfect type to go blindly into the wild on a suicidal quest.
But Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
I guess nobody wants to live in a gunked-up universe.
I reckon we already do, and we ain't got no choice in the matter. So maybe somebody ought to take a rag to it.
When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the Resistance?
Can I stop this apocalypse?
You can gird yourself in the armor of righteousness, soldier. From this moment on, you are a proud member of the Resistance. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed. Unable to comply.
I could probably fix that. I mean, if you wanted me to.
Oh, you can fix it? No, I'll just give it a good smack. That'll fix it.
Ooh, ow, could you not? I mean, it's a mechanical, sure, but that just seems mean.
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics.
See? I told you that would work. I told you. Piece of cake. Just gotta whack it real good. That'll fix it.
Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson.
Oh, so you want me to go undercover as a mechanical, learn their ways?
You got pluck, kid. But no, can't risk having you go native. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
What's that smell?
That'd be the garden, dear. You're standing in a garden. Also fertilizer, so mind your boots.
So Reed sent me to make peace with you?
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
I don't know, it was something about coming back to town or losing power. I mean, I was listening, but I kind of forgot what he was talking about.
I can't say I blame you. Reed is positively soporific.
I don't know what that means.
Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
You want to tell me what these gold teeth are for?
Haven't you ever seen a novelty paperweight?
Reminds me of this guy I heard about, someone named Eugene. He had gold teeth.
I remember a Eugene. Pleasant enough boy. Whatever happened to him?
I was going to ask you that.
Do I look physically capable of harming anyone?
Yes.
I did nothing wrong. The teeth were harvested from a body that went cold long before my tools ever touched it. Gold does not decompose. The teeth had to be removed. And while I am no licensed dentist, I should think I did a fair job of it.
I knew it! You people are cannibals!
We're not cannibals, dear. I don't eat corpses. I just use them in my fertilizer. The crops I grow here are natural, nutritious, healthy. My garden does more than fill the bellies of my flock. It keeps them from falling ill.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
I hit them in the head and they fall down. Well, I'm pretty confused right now.
Hey, me too. But mostly because I just had my second dose of Adrenatime. I am so completely addled right now. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by, what with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world.
Wow, alien fish with every meal. Talk about living the high life.
Every meal? Hold on there, friend. This isn't Byzantium. We eat once a day, in accordance with Spacer's Choice nourishment regulations. It is my job to keep two eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post. I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
Okay, I won't see it, but I'm thinking real hard about it.
I expect you wouldn't understand. You don't see the town as I do. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
You're not real! You're not real! Get away from me, Phantom! Shoot! Scram!
Phantoms? Where? Where?
You can talk? The Phantoms never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
Higgins? This Phantom's got a name?
No, you can't possibly be a hallucination. You're much too dense. Not at all, my corporeal friend. Higgins is my name. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
Good point, I hadn't thought of that.
Uh-huh, so you see my dilemma.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
Don't know. I like pressing buttons, I guess.
Are you really this moronical, or are you just putting on airs? Listen here, Hullhead. I'm only gonna say this once. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
She grows her crops with a special fertilizer.
And when you say special fertilizer, you mean what exactly?
People! It's made of people!
Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's... Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
You know, I've convinced Reed into leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
I am somewhat taken aback by that. Given the heat between her and Mr. Thompson, what deal did you strike with her, I wonder?
People! Adelaide's greens are people!
What?
Miss McDevitt's been digging up the graveyard. She uses our dead to sweeten the earth and grow vegetables.
And that works. The results are edible. I was under the impression nothing could be grown hereabouts.
That's what she says. If you could believe somebody who eats salad.
That is truly unexpected. I wonder how she discovered that. Once the spark of life is fled, the mortal form is but unanimated matter, comprised of the same elements as the rest of the universe. We inter for the comfort of the living, not the benefit of the dead. While distasteful, I would judge Ms. McDevitt's actions beneficial to the greater good.
So Adelaide's plants don't taste good, but they're good for you?
Close enough. I'm sure you have many issues taxing your limited resources. You can safely place this one out of mind.
Consider it placed out of mind. Man, and I wish I knew where you were hiding.
Welcome back, Captain. All systems are now operating within acceptable parameters. Shall I take our ship into orbit?
Let's do this.
By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time.
I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
You want me to wear a cape?
Wrong matter of shroud, my slow-witted accomplice. This is, how to put it simply, a device that makes you look different, sound different. Briefly.
The board has a stranglehold over this colony, and we've all been conditioned into total obedience. The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers, talented individuals like you, people who haven't been corrupted by the board. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades, well past your shelf life, so to speak. No offense. Ah, you begin to perceive the truth. Yes, according to the board and their narrow-minded scientists, you should be a pile of organic sludge right now. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the hope. Get it?
No. No.
I see. Well, never mind. Let's just pretend it was hilariously witty and move on. I'd best get back to work. I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading. For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found a crew, such as they are. You may be extraordinarily dim-witted, but you've got heart. I'm sure your crew sees that as well as I do.
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
Let's talk about the thing. You know, the thing with the thing that you want to do?
Of course. Are you ready to break into security on the Groundbreaker?
Oh wait, was that I have to do? Wait, why are we doing that?
If I can access the data cartridge from the terminal in security, I can easily hack into their arrivals and departures registry. That'll give us dates, times, and the crew manifests for every registered ship. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophist's off-world destination.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it? That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
Oh yeah, that's some woman pretending to be the ship's computer, but I'm pretty sure she's somewhere else, hiding.
Oh, neat! I've never seen a talkie system before. I read about them, though, in a trade magazine. Hello, I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
Customs and inspection, right this way! Identification, please.
You're guarding the door, so I'll call you guard. You're welcome.
That's only about the third or fourth dumbest line I've heard all day. I give it a 6 out of 10.
Seems a little high. That was barely a 3 in my humble opinion.
Hey, that's better than half. Could be worse.
Could be better, too. So, identification?
Don't you sass me. I could do dumber. My name's Og. It's my first time here.
You've got a ship, but you've never visited Groundbreaker. You must have just dusted off from one of those dirt-side outposts.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms...
I don't even know what comms are.
Do you know Edna? over in engineering. Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago.
Oh no! That makes it a ghost message.
Aren't you precious? No. The young man on the video was flesh and blood, all right.
Could be it was automated. Mr. Thompson used to automate the intercom in Edgewater to say all sorts of things. A bit saved is worth two in the bush was his favorite. Never did figure out what he meant.
Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide.
Okay.
My goodness, aren't you quick on the uptake? I like that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies.
You keep talking about these cookies. Sounds good to me.
Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
I'll be waiting eagerly for your return. Now, is there any way in which I might assist you?
As a matter of fact, what can you tell me about Jessie Doyle? I'd like to have her debt settled.
Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases.
Kind and efficient. Can't say I disapprove. Although, seeing as this woman isn't a member of our crew, it'd be nice if the price weren't quite so high.
What is the price?
I think you may have underestimated the size of Miss Doyle's debt. If you'll look over this itemized bill.
Charging that much for emotional anguish?
I am extremely anguished, Captain. Please respect my feelings in this difficult time.
I doubt Mr. Bedford's ever felt real pain. We could introduce him to the sort of suffering that actually constitutes extreme anguish. For the good of his understanding, of course.
Be careful you don't irritate my guards, Vicar. You might not like their rather narrow understanding of what constitutes excessive force. Unless you can offer some other means of resolving her debt, I'm afraid we have nothing further to discuss.
Advertisement for the following.
Hey, Captain. Can I get your temperature on something real quick?
71.
So, June Lei and I have been talking some. Through messages? I got him here on my datapad, and well, she sent me a poem. One she wrote her own self, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems are all symbolic and such, right? It's not so good. But real sweet. Oh, law. That's what's got me spooked. I don't rightly know. It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by and lays one hand on it. And the trouble goes away. It sings. I don't want to get too hopeful, but I'm wondering if maybe she's the engine and I'm the lady? It's a real romantic poem. Made my chest hurt, kinda.
Junli wants you to give her a tune-up. I don't get it.
It's like a metaphor, Captain. I think? Oh, see, this is why poetry throws me off my bearings. If it ain't a metaphor, that worries me more. Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Could we maybe head to the Groundbreaker? Get some drinks at that bar there? The Lost Hope?
Yes, drinks are a solution to everything. Yes.
Come on, Captain. This is no time to be fooling on me.
Who's kidding?
I'm full serious. Next time we're on the
So am
Groundbreaker,
I.
I aim to get a drink. If I got to, I'll do it on my lonesome. But I'd feel better if someone I trusted was there.
The outlaw scientist fella, right. The board's had it out for him for ages.
Phineas is my friend.
I think you might have got your words mixed up again, Captain.
No, I mean it. I've been to his secret base and everything.
You aiming to send a message? If so, we best do it now while we still got time. And no, Ellie, that offer does not extend to you broadcasting another of your crude jokes.
Aw.
Hey, that's a real planet. And no one's seen it in a long time.
Damn it, Ellie, I don't have time for your shenanigans.
It's pronounced
Anyway,
Uranus.
like I was saying, you aiming to send a message, you better be quick. Me? No. But our relaying capabilities? That's on the final countdown. We're going offline in 3, 2, 1.5... No. Wait, I've lost track of my weeks. Maybe it was 36 or... sometime dire soon.
Oh, okay. All those numbers are confusing to me.
They're beside the point. I just mean, you got limited time before the equipment goes non-functional. You see? Our primary relay station's soon to be occluded by a gas giant. Happens every 40 years or thereabouts. The event's forecasted to last for months, during which we'll lose signal to the station.
That signal's part of how Groundbreaker stays autonomous and independent. Much as I'd love to hear fewer corporate jingles, this would be bad.
We've got backup auxiliary relays, but the one currently in orbital range went offline some months ago. We can't spare people for routine maintenance.
Didn't I tell you? I'm secretly the chairman's orphan child, abandoned at birth in the back base.
Wow, really?
No, boss, not really. I was what's the word? Deflecting. Honestly, before you picked me up, I was living in the back base. Spent my whole life up there, watching ships roll in and take off. I always wondered when my ship would come. I was what folks on the Groundbreaker call a stowaway. Means I was invisible. Life carried on for everybody else, but not for me. I had to make my own way.
This Roseway business smells. Something tells me things didn't end well for the guy who made the distress call. And whoever or whatever got him will be waiting for us.
Maybe it's nothing. Maybe the call was an accident.
You're saying he walked into a communications tower, turned on the transmitter, held down the talk button, and sent half a message by accident?
You act like you've never done something like that. Don't judge.
Oh, I'm judging all right. Anyway, we might as well take a look out there, see if we can get the jump on whoever's waiting for us.
If you've come to end my life, let's be on with it. Oh, not actually one of them, are you?
No? Did you send the distress call?
Yes. Anton Crane, lead scientist here. I must apologize if my call diverted you. I may have panicked. Everything's under control now, though, truth be told.
See, Ellie, I told you it was a simple mistake.
Yeah. We're not all as simple as the captain. What's actually going on here, Anton?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the nature of the work I'm doing here. Suffice it to say that its importance to me, to the colony, is immeasurable.
Why cancel the distress call?
My research may not quite fall within legal parameters, so I'm under orders to maintain wireless silence. However, having your head used as target practice can addle one's thinking. I cut the call immediately once I'd gathered my wits. The Home Office can't know what's happening here. We're expendable resources, to be neglected and left to our fates were anything untoward to happen.
Huh? What?
Mock all you like, but we signed up for this and knew the risks.
Howdy.
Ah, outlaws, I assume. Do me a favor and let me finish this, will you? And then make it quick, please.
Make it quick? Make what quick?
My death, you simpleton.
Okay, if you say so.
Success here will get me to Byzantium. I'll have recognition, money, proper facilities. It's the only place to lead a life of meaning in the system.
Yeah, that Byzantium sounds like a fun place.
Okay. Are we done here?
I hope you can forgive my temper.
This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
You what, know who now? You should probably see a doctor about that.
That's what Braxton is. He's our fish doctor.
Come on, that's like calling a dentist a doctor.
He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
What I am doing, sir, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place.
That's a lot of big words.
I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. Before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted.
Well, new business turns up at last.
Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
I guess I'll wait until you're done with the meeting then.
And a sense of humor, too. Did you hear that, Celia?
I heard it, sir.
But I'm sure you didn't come here to trade witticisms, No, you're here for business.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
He should give you free bags at least.
Oh, I don't mind. I usually buy things one at a time. Gives me more chances to talk to him. He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Kind of like you, actually. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
Good to have standards, I guess.
I know what I'm looking for.
It just gets hard to remember things. I recall moments, feelings, but the details slip. Other times it's like there's fog. Sorry, have we talked about this before?
You're the first person I talked to who makes sense.
Can we talk more after dinner? I usually feel better after dinner.
Awakening is available to all whose minds are ready to accept it. What would you like to know?
I would like to know what you think Bakonu meant when he wrote, "Your work is to discover the truth, and then with all your heart give yourself to it."
Ah, how refreshing to have a scholar among us. Bakonu's text simply refers to our entire purpose, assisting the universe in realizing its own truth. Let it guide us as it will.
It refers to giving oneself over to the plan. It is not some paean to an invisible creator in the sky.
Wait, who's peeing?
Paean. It's a... Never mind. The point of no return. When your mind fully opens to the eternal truth, every philosophist experiences it along the path to enlightenment. For many, it is the first brush with the cold of death, when they realize that all of their lives have boiled down into the single truth of that moment. Mine was witnessing my friend and colleague transform into the very evil we sought to combat. Now he runs MSI just like the overlords before him.
Do you need to be asleep to have an awakening?
You know, you aren't the first to make that joke.
Pure and simple, it's like this. I run our drug delivery service. Recently, I had the genius idea to cut costs in half by swapping our autoloaders with faster, cheaper sprats.
That is a genius idea.
See? I know a fellow genius when I clap eyes on him. Too right you are. Only problem is my Sprat carriers ain't arrived from their latest run. As I was saying, you look more capable than most of the hoople heads around these parts. What say you locate him and retrieve the goods for me? In return, I'll cut you 5% of the profit.
Welcome to the offices of the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group, Halcyon's premier provider of life and disaster-related insurance. I'm obligated to inform you that our coverage does not extend to incidents deemed to result from negligence, criminal activity, or dullness of mind.
Well, I'm screwed. That sounds like a great deal.
It sure is. So, what kind of insurance package can I interest you in? We're running a special on dismemberment policies. Buy one, get one half off.
I do like your gumption, but let's not be hasty. To get to the gas, you'll need to navigate through the town, which is overrun by marauders. The lab itself has become an infested nest, crawling with mantis. You gotta fight through or figure out some other way to exterminate them. Maybe the ventilation system?
Don't worry, I kill bugs dead.
Shall I inscribe that on your tombstone? Now, after you clear the mantis nest and reach the storage room, all that's left is to get the gas flowing into the fuel system. The task will require someone with technical skills, or you could force it through with a plasma overload. Don't recommend that option, though, unless you want to get dead.
What do you want? Oh, hey, Vicar Max. What are you doing on Monarch? I thought scienticians ain't welcome here.
Haven't you heard? Everyone's welcome here. It's a fucking worker's paradise. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Never worked a day in your miserable life. You're just a parasite, living off my goodwill. Well, guess what? My goodwill's exhausted, along with my temper.
Max, if you're exhausted, maybe we should rest and look for the scholar later.
What? You never cease to amaze me, you know that? This is the guy who told me about the book while we were in prison. I lied about finding a scholar. But I don't care about any of that anymore. I just want to inflict massive amounts of pain on this guy.
You're telling me you're on a first-name basis with Ms. Tennyson?
Yep, I saved the Groundbreaker from turning into a burning death trap.
Yeah, the promenade doesn't feel like I'm walking the surface of Tartarus. So that was you, huh?
Looks like Trask was telling the truth. It's all there. Receipts for services rendered, payments, records, ship manifests. Clyde was a pirate for hire, and the board was paying him off. In typical board fashion, they left a trail of receipts behind. Ain't that just ironic?
Ironical, Felix. The word you're looking for is ironical.
That ain't the point, boss. I feel like Clyde's been taking us for a ride. I don't want to believe it, but I need to know. Clyde owes us some answers. Something about this don't add up. And I mean to find out why. This is definitely not how I imagined it'd end. The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. Now? I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Don't look at me, Felix. I don't think. I just shoot things.
Yeah, no kidding, boss. You made that clear as day.
Hello? Hello? I hear boots out there. Wait, can rats hear boots?
Law help me! It's a talking door!
Hey! Watch what you're calling a door, hullhead!
This would be funny if it weren't sad. Scratch that. It's still funny.
Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less.
I don't think this will fit in any of my guns.
See, Celia? He gets it. I told you he would.
So you did, sir.
The world isn't changed with guns and speeches, much as Graham and his followers would like to think, but rather with meticulous documentation. Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. Maybe some nice letterhead. Or someone working there. That would do it. I knew you were the right person for the job. I suppose I'll leave you to it. I'm sorry, who?
Maybe it was C3? C3? I'm not sure how to spell that.
Oh, that's C3. They're hardly a corporation. More like a jumped-up band of thugs with certain pretensions. The evidence I'm hoping for would implicate one of the board powers. Anti-Cleos, Spacer's Choice, UDL, someone of that caliber.
Not that we don't appreciate your diligence.
At first, I liked what Graham was doing. The Iconoclasts were going to change Halcyon for the better. But then, we found out Graham was behind the slaughter of Amber Heights. How can anybody so morally bankrupt lead a movement to transform the colony?
I give up. How?
Boss, that wasn't a trick question. I was being, what's the word? Rhetorical. You'd never do something like that, would you? Slaughter a whole community of innocents?
No?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Anyway, you really want to tell me you're helping the scientist because you think he'll save the colony? You're right. The point is that self-interest is like self-pleasure. No one wants to admit it, but everyone has a hand in it. Enough about Harlow, though. Anything else?
Oh, Ellie, I love you. You're awesome.
Captain, I'm receiving an urgent docking request from another vessel.
Greetings from the Halcyon Parcel Service. Delivery is guaranteed within standard margins of certainty. I've got a special delivery for Alex Hawthorne of the Unreliable. With your permission, I'll see it transferred to your ship.
Special delivery? What is it?
It's a parcel, sir.
Are you sure it's not? I mean, what's in the parcel?
A parcel is a shipment wrapped and prepared for delivery, sir.
Just send it over.
With alacrity. Stand by, Captain Hawthorne. An HPS certified distribution technician has deposited the parcel into your cargo hold in accordance with hazardous waste disposal procedures.
Waste disposal? What, you mean it's dangerous? I'm sure it's fine.
On behalf of HPS, I'd like to remind you that HPS is not responsible for any damage, defacement, or unseemliness to your parcel. Thank you for your patience, and please remember HPS for all of your future parcel-related needs.
Okay, sure. What is this parcel? Oh, that looks bad.
Hawthorne, if you're getting this, something's happened to me. Got mixed up in some shady business on Gorgon. Should have known better. But I landed on something big. And now this job's an itch I can't stop scratching. There's a whole research compound left to the Sprats. I think I'm close to figuring out why. But something dangerous is closer to me. Got the job through one Minnie Ambrose. Top runger who just came into some money, was offering a hefty bid card for qualified help. Trust me, her money's good. Talk to Minnie. Take the job. If I ain't gonna live to see the payday, might as well be you. Consider us even, old pal.
Well, that fellow certainly seemed trustworthy.
I've gotten jobs from some unusual sources, but this is a first. Congratulations, Captain.
I don't mean to sound prim, Captain, but there's gotta be a better way to ask someone to do you a favor.
I just want to say, we gotta take this job. This is the closest I ever been to starring in a serial drama. Only thing we're missing is a couple cameras and a soundtrack.
At least this won't be boring.
Well, it was nice of him to share the tip of his arm.
Captain, the message contains landing coordinates for a small asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. It was recently registered to a Wilhelmina Ambrose.
Can we address that there's a severed arm on the kitchen table?
Now, I, for one, was hoping to do the exact opposite of that.
What? Do you want to shake its hand?
Yeah, can we talk about the arm? I want to take bets on how the guy lost it. My money's on cannibals.
That ain't really that fella's arm, right? It's gotta be a dummy. Or a toy?
Well, I'm not cleaning it up.
Cleanup service request processed. Disposal of human arm from the Unreliable's cargo hold will commence in the immediate future.
Simulating disgust. How distasteful. Humans eat there. I'm not touching it. Etc. Lucky Montoya had a statistically significant tendency to encounter situations of extreme danger.
Well, yeah. I doubt this guy lost his arm filling out paperwork.
He was also the 4th best paid freelancer in the system.
Only the 4th?
There are several hundred freelancers operating in Halcyon. Considering the numbers, Mr. Montoya ranked among the top percentile.
Oh,
this had
in that
less
case.
correlation with his measured aptitudes, which rank at or below average, than with a pattern of fortunate circumstances.
Thus the name Lucky. Well, that sounds good for me.
That's not... Captain, just when I think I've heard the depths of insight you're capable of, you find a way to surprise me.
I do not advise deriving probabilities from coincidence, but I am programmed to offer you encouragement. I have transferred the coordinates for Ambrose Manor to your navigation terminal. We can travel there when you are ready.
Awesome.